we have a halogen light in here, and we see how black it is in there. So this light burned out. We are going to put a new one in. I would like to switch to LED, and there's different kind of light bulbs on the halogen and on the LED side. As we can see here, the connections are slightly different, and this has to do with the voltage. So this one here with the sturdier, thicker connectors is a high voltage, and this one with the flimsy little ones is the low voltage. The low voltage you just pull out, the high voltage you have to twist. Alright, what else? The low voltage has probably a small foot to connect, and the high voltage has a bigger foot to connect. As you can see, those little connection points here that are the same, but this thing has a voltage converter in here to get it down from 220 or 110 down to 12 volt. This one is a good example with another slight difference. The halogen lamp has a protective glass on there. This is to filter UV light. Believe it or not, those things have a lot of UV. And now this particular one here is used a lot in a bathroom where there's a lot of humidity. Oh, this is pulling out, right? And we see there is no glass here. Now they have light bulbs where there is glass already on the light bulb, like this one. You see, here is the glass on there already, so you don't have an extra glass. The glass, as I said, is just to take the UV light out. We don't have to worry about those in an environment with LEDs, like this. LED doesn't generate much UV light, and therefore we can use this. What we have to be careful with LEDs is when it says dimmable, or if you have a dimmer on this, okay? So you need a special dimmer, a CFL dimmer, to work LEDs. You cannot use a regular dimmer. So if you change from halogen to LED and you have a dimmer on there, you also have to change the dimmer. But long term, this is much easier. So in this case here, to look this up, we just need to replace the new light bulb in here and put it back together. The only thing what I'm concerned about is all this oxidization here. It's not so good, but well. And getting this back in here is also not very easy. I wonder how they do this. You have to go in there with your finger to hold it. Oh wow! So you hold it up with your finger like this and then plug it in. There we go. Now, the LEDs also, the surface here, since it doesn't get so hot, you can touch, while as on the halogen you should avoid the touch for one very important reason. It gets so hot that the grease from your fingers will burn and leave a like burnt carbon residue on the glass, what makes it darker. It's like basically like charcoal on there. So because this particular one is so oxidized, make sure it goes in the hole here. Yeah. So this little ring is to hold the glass in and or the light bulb, right? We don't want the light bulb to fall out. while we edit, we can tighten the screw a little bit. Okay. So this one would be converted. And then let's have a look at this one. This is a lot easier. Whoops, there's the ring again. We can push the wire in. And we get the cable out. And since this was a higher voltage one, we have to twist. You see this? The old one and the new one goes in the hole and twist. And then we can pull on the wire, pull it back in, like this here, and get our spring in here, safety ring, there we go, so that the light bulb doesn't fall out. Okay, on those we usually find labels. They say the maximum wattage they can have. This is meant for halogen lights because of the heat and the power it needs. LEDs are always less power than a halogen would use, so the wattage doesn't matter. So if this thing, let's say, only accepts 50 watts, LED you can put in 200 if you want. There is no 200 watts LED right now, but let's say you have a 35 watts light, you could put a 50 watts LED in, that wouldn't matter. So, and then I'm going to put it back on and we see how that worked out.